Hey, this is Mechiel and welcome to my Fearless Innovator podcast. Thank you for joining me today. My hope is to inspire, educate, and entertain you. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Fearless Innovator podcast. My name is Mechiel and I'm your host. In a prior episode, you all heard me talk about win-win solutions. So today in this episode, I'm going to share with you a win-win solution as it relates to real estate investing. 2 days ago, I was interviewed for a YouTube channel called Tech Guys That Invest. It was during that call that they asked me a series of questions. And one of the questions was, what are the most common financial or real estate problems you see as an investor? My response was not typical. I even told them that. I said, you're not going to expect what my response is. But one of my biggest hurdles in dealing with real estate transactions, specifically sellers, is that they really don't know what an investor does or who we are. Oftentimes I hear people say, oh, you're just going to take me for my money and rip me off. Nope, that's not what this is about at all. It's actually the opposite. So the issue that I have are sellers are led to believe there is only one way to sell a house, and that's using a real estate agent. And that's simply not true. Now, this is not a bash on real estate agents. They clearly have a role. But what I'm trying to say is that when I work with a seller directly, I learn what their problem is and I solve the problem and I make the solution a win-win for both the seller and myself. A real estate agent may listen to the problem, but they're not solving the problem. They're going after commission. I'm not going after commission. I'm going after a property that I can build into my portfolio to make it a buy and hold property in this case. So my sister called me. She lives in Arkansas, and she told me about the house 2 doors down. It's a modular home. It's been rehabbed. It's beautiful on the inside. It's beautiful on the outside. It sits on 3/4 of an acre, and it overlooks a lake. But unfortunately, the seller had told my sister that 3 times the contract had fallen through. And now they were on their 4th contract and they were in fear that this one was also going to fail. And so I said to Melissa, please give Adam my phone number and I want to talk to him. And it took Melissa a couple times to let him know, kind of who I was. I was just a girl and my sister's an investor. She told stories like that. But he didn't clearly understand what that meant. So he was a little hesitant to call me, but eventually he did call me. And it took about 3 weeks. So 3 weeks later, Adam calls me and he said, well, Mechiel, how is it that you think that you can help me? And I said, well, first of all, if I understand correctly, your house has fallen through 3 times. And now you're on your 4th contract. Is that correct? And he said, yes. And I said, okay, I realize you're also working with a real estate agent. And I said, we really need to stop. And I can offer you a solution. However, I'm not going to get involved with an agent because I don't want to get them upset with me. And that's not who I am. So let's wait and see what happens with this deal. And then we can talk about solutions. So he waited. I think it was another 3 to 4 weeks. The contract fell through and he called me back. When he called me back, I said, Adam, I can tell you exactly why your contract is falling through without even knowing anything about the deal. And he said, you can? I said, yes. I said, this is a modular home, correct? And I said, yes. And I said, and they're not qualifying for lending? And he said, correct. I said, the reason is they're not going to the correct lenders to get this. And modular homes are a little more challenging to get specific lending needs on them simply because, they're air missiles. So it requires a special lender to do that. And obviously they weren't using the right lenders. I said, however, I can help you. He said, you can? I said, yeah. I said, at the end of the day, I said, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? And he said, Mechiel, my wife and I, Ashley, are divorced. And quite frankly, we want to be done with each other and we own this house together and we just want this house to go away. And I said, okay. I said, but at the end of the day, are you looking for a little bit of cash in your pocket? And he goes, yeah, that would be great. He goes, because I know there's equity in this house. And I said, okay, in the event that this works out, what do you think about this solution? What if I gave you each $5,000 at closing? You both walk away with $5,000 and I'll take over your payments on your house. And he said, I like that. And he goes, I think Ashley would like that too. And I said, okay, I'll be glad. And he goes, but Mechiel, you're going to have to call her. I said, oh, I get it. No problem. I can do it all over again. No problem. So I got on the phone with Ashley and I didn't really have to do a lot of explaining with her because she was actually an insurance agent and she already understood the lingo. and she understood the contract, the way that I was going to lay it out. She understood contract for deed, and she also understood that the mortgage would stay with them, but I would be responsible for making the payment. But she wanted to know what I was going to use the house for, and I said, I'm going to put a renter in there, and then that renter is going to pay you, pay me, but I'm going to pay you ultimately mortgage for you every month, and your insurance and your property taxes. The deed, however, will stay with you until which time I can pay off the mortgage. But I told them, I said, I would guarantee to them that I would have this house paid off within 3 months. And then the deed would transfer to myself and I would own the property outright. And she was fully on board. She was thrilled. We had several conversations that went back and forth. It didn't take a lot of getting comfortable. They were totally comfortable with my delivery and what I said. I worked through a lawyer there in Arkansas to make sure that the transaction was legal. And we went to closing, and it was like only 2 weeks later. I was able to close in 2 weeks. When you do conventional lending, that can take 30 days, 40 days plus. And even getting appraisals these days are, that's the bottleneck. What I'm hearing right now is because everybody, has got so much on their plate. So I was able to close within 3 weeks, and they walked away very, very happy customers. I can ping her anytime, and she gives me any references for future deals that I work on. And it's just an amazing relationship. So at the end of the day, that was the win-win solution. I solved a problem. Well, I listened to the problem. I solved the problem, provided them with the solution. They got money in their pocket, and I acquired a property. So that at the end of the day, I hope I have given you some inspiration, education, and entertainment along the way about my journey through real estate investing. If you want to reach out to me, you can go to fearlessinnovator.com/contact. Or if you would like to get a copy of my free book, go to fearlessinnovator.com/free book. You all have a great day, and I'll catch you on the other side. Thank you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the show. If I can help you invest in your future, reach out to me at fearlessinnovator.com. Catch me later.